Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everyone. This is me, Jonathan Alexander, and I'm here to host our show, Life, Laughter, Happiness. Today, we're going to be talking about Christmas and what Christmas means to everybody. And, when Barbara calls in shortly, that's what we're going to talk about. So, I hope that, let me see here. Anyone home, please? Now, I hope that now Barbara knows that we are on the air, so let's see if I'm not going to freak out. But what I'm going to start off by saying is that, this is the day before Christmas Eve, and because this is the day before Christmas Eve, it's the day that we sort of, everything sort of slows down a little bit, It's always been to me, those 3 days, those days where, there's a slowing down, where you sort of think about the past year. And obviously 2020 has not been a good year for anybody. So I hope Barbara will call in soon. If she doesn't call in about 2 minutes, then I'll try to message her. And she has the number, obviously. So, see here, what else? Okay, one moment, please. Okay, it's okay. She'll be here soon. And I'm glad everyone's here. And I'm also glad that when I do a show that I don't do it alone. The Barbara's here as well. So I'm going to try. Let's see here. I'm going to see if I can get her. Let me contact her. 1 second here. Okay, we're still waiting on her. So, I hope that everyone who is listening in is having a good Christmas. It's one of those things that it's one of those days that you kind of feel, at home and happy and everything. And my co-host is here. Barbara, you there?
Hi, yes, I am here. Hi, everybody. I heard you talking about being at home, alone, and happy. Well, yeah, we hope that they're happy. And actually, how do you know everybody's alone? Are you alone? Are you alone, Johnny?
No, I don't think I used the words alone and happy. I said that did I use the words alone and happy?
I'm sorry, there was some interference. Okay,
that's
well,
okay.
whatever
I was
said,
probably
it was lovely,
trying
and
to
I'm sorry for coming on a little late. A minute late.
That's okay.
Here on
that's okay.
The day before Christmas Eve. There's always so many extra little things that you got to button up, right?
Right. I think what it is I think what I was going to say is I think you need to understand it's always easier. I was saying this right before you came on, to talk when you're here as opposed to being alone. Because when I'm alone, I do kind of say some things and they are not always the best choice of words. It's sort of a fumbling over of things where it's easier to, go back and forth a little bit when you're here, if that makes sense.
Well, of course it makes sense. And the reason why people have co-hosts is because of that exact fact. And if you look at any other shows that just have a one person handling it, pretty much every time they have a guest. Because, what are they going to do? Sit there and just ramble on without any questions or conversation happening and just talk? Go read a book if that's the case. So, Johnny,
and I was going to tell you,
it's easier. Of course, it's easier for you. It's the way it's supposed to be for everybody.
We were talking about Christmas. We were talking about Christmas earlier, and you told me to bring this up, so I'm going to bring this up. I was watching.
Okay.
I've been watching I Dream of Jeannie reruns, and there's something
I Dream of Jeannie. Did you say?
Yes.
I Dream of Jeannie. Did you say? Oh,
yes,
wow! I love that show.
And one of the things I loved about the Jeannie character is that it doesn't matter if Jeannie knew what to do or she didn't know what to do. She always tried to help him out. And it was like, always. She had his best interest at heart, and that's one of the things about you.
I know.
That you tried it, and you were always it's like, my goodness, you were so happy. Oh my goodness, And have you noticed in the TV show, she never used a contraction. She doesn't say I can't or don't do anything. It says I do not do that. You cannot say that. But there's something
positive.
Yeah. But the thing is that you have this incredible. What?
Oh, I just said thank you. Thank you.
You have this incredible determination to help everybody,
because,
which is amazing.
No, I just thought that you said she always was trying to help everybody, and that was what reminded you of me, that
true.
show. But
that's
then
true.
Thank you. So I was saying thank you. That's nice of you. Everybody wants to be acknowledged, I went to a thing one time for a weekend, like a self-help deal, and that was one of the biggest things they said is acknowledgement, how important that is to a person. So thank you, and I'm sorry to interrupt the rest of your story. Go ahead.
Well, and like we were talking about this because you mentioned something about, and I went online to look for it. It was like the magic genie in a bottle.
Oh, yes.
You got that as a Christmas present.
You know what? What's so crazy is that you sent me that genie in the bottle today, and that literally was my all-time favorite Christmas present I ever did receive on Christmas as a child. And I remember exactly where I was. I loved it more than anything. It was the genie in the bottle, and it was from the 70s, okay? I think probably from like I'd say 70s, mid-70s, okay? Look it up, everybody. And it was the genie in the bottle. It was kind of like one of those 8-ball deals where you would shake it and then you would see your wish there in the viewfinder. It did that kind of same thing. And there was a message. But you could also look down the top and you could see all the plush velvet furniture, all the pillows she had. And it was really cool. I love that toy. I really wish I still had that toy. And so what was your favorite toy, Johnny?
Well, my favorite toy when I was growing up was something called the Big Track. It was this tank. You put it on the ground and you gave it little instructions and then it would go on the ground. And I remember it being I was enthralled with it when I bought it. It was the most amazing thing in the world. And what happened was, for 1 year for Christmas, I bought my nephew the Big Track because I wanted him to kind of experience what I was going through. And he really just, he was like, ugh. But what happened was,
you didn't like it?
Well, it's not that he didn't like it, but this is what happened. I told him that I bought him a Christmas present. Christmas present? You bought me a Christmas present? What was your Christmas present? Well, of course, the kid, when you tell a kid that, so I was thinking, okay, I was going to give him the Christmas present on Christmas. No such luck.
Of course not. They want it early, right? They want to open it right away, right?
When I said, don't you want to wait? No. And he was basically in the car, driving up to, he was like driving up to, he was driving up to, he was like walking up to my room, and on the 6-hour drive down to Georgia, he was saying, Johnny has as a Christmas present for me. He's going to give it to me. And of course he gets so upset when he doesn't. I mean,
Well, you can't add anything to it because I know a little bit about autistic people. They're cut and dry. I love it. This part about them, cut and dry. You tell them, I got you something, I'm going to give it to you. That's what they hear. They don't hear, oh, you have to wait till Christmas. Oh, it's just the anticipation. That's just something you have to, none of that is, you cannot add that extra stuff. So I just wanted the audience to know, why? So then when
a good example of this,
did you give it to him right away? I hope so.
I gave it to him right there. But let me give you an example of something else, and this was explained to me, too. Did you ever see the movie Rain Man?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there is a scene in the movie when he's sitting in the car and he says, "Dad, let's go show the driveway." And then Tom Cruise's character, he lets you drive? Yeah. Okay. Well, in that case, I'll just let you drive sometime. And immediately he grabs the steering wheel.
Yes,
remember that?
Exactly. It's very literal. That they're very literal. Very. Which, you know what?
Yeah,
if more people were like that, it would be actually a more direct communication world with people, because you wouldn't have to read between people's lines and wonder, do they really mean that, what they're saying? You know what I mean? So I like these qualities in autistic people, and some of them are they're better to have than not to have. So autism, I'm so glad that we raise awareness to it, because they're lovely, wonderful people. There's many, you may have it. You may be on the spectrum and not know it. Who cares? That's what makes you you. So it's not a bad thing, So I'm glad we're raising awareness. That was my point.
Alex will. I mean, Van will. What's so funny is that if you go into a room where Alex is and he doesn't want you in the room, he'll say, "Leave."
So then they have to then teach what goes before that? Please. So because they don't know. They don't know they're being rude. You taught them. That means get. When I say leave means people leave. So, they are honest. And, I love this honesty. But what about the other part where, in Rain Man, where all the toothpicks dropped on the floor and he was able to count those? How in the world does that work? I don't get that.
Well, I think what it is that they have... they're very focused on certain things. I've heard one person that I've heard they think maybe be a bit on the autistic spectrum was Bobby Fischer.
Oh, really? And he's a writer, correct?
No, actually, Bobby Fischer was a chess player. He was a famous.
Oh.
Yeah. And
I'm sorry. Okay.
and he didn't have very good social skills at all. But was an excellent chess player. Like he could, it didn't matter who you played with, but then he would start to think all sorts of weird stuff, like the lights are too bright, or I also know that with my nephew, when you sing happy birthday to, around him, you have to do it in a very slow soft tone whisper,
Yeah, they're sensitive to certain things. Oh, also, I just wanted to add, since you brought up the chess, there is a wonderful series on, I believe it's Prime. I have so many different things I watch things on, so I forget, but I believe it's on Prime Video, and this old-fashioned time, like 40s style, really cool. And this girl is an orphan, and for some reason she's drawn to chess. It was crazy, and she started practicing, but she would see it in her dreams. And then she would just go down and play with the janitor guy, who was really an expert, and just start beating the heck out of him. And I think it's really good, but something was always odd about her. But one thing I wanted to add was that the hospital gave her a drug every time that she would go to sleep. She didn't really know what she was taking, but that's when the dreams started to really do something to where she would see how to play and win. And you know what? It started making me think about this ayahuasca deal. Have you heard of this, where it's a plant in Peru and they extract this part out of it that is very euphoric and it just cleanses you? And people are doing this all the time. I wanted to mention this on the show to see if anybody out there has ever experienced it or done it. And I mean, you don't have to go all the way to Peru, but these people are what do they call them? Shamans. I don't know a lot about that, you guys, but it's weird how this then opens their eyes up somehow, and they're able to become a person, and they find things about themselves they never used before, and it's like this life-changing thing. It kind of made me think, well, why is there some part of the brain that we're not using, and why aren't there more studies to try to figure out how we can use these parts without really, going and doing this drug that's been hundreds of years old. They call it a medicine, and then you throw up. It's violent. You get violently ill, and then it's hours of crying. And have you ever heard about this, Johnny?
No, I haven't, but I might have heard about it indirectly without them mentioning the name.
Wow, it's really a trip, and I hear a lot of people are doing this a lot, so we need to do a show on that. Sorry to get off on that, but it was just so interesting that I saw this last night, and it's a documentary that is, I believe it's on Showtime, which I did just get.
No,
I'm loving it, and we're going to go out and get Christmas
How
tree.
does your daughter like Christmas?
Well, she loves Christmas, but I do it a little differently. I go get the Christmas tree right before Christmas, because my dad, my brother, and I would always do. It was a broken family, so we had Christmas with my mom, then on Christmas Eve with my mom, sorry. Then my dad picked us up Christmas morning, and that whole day we'd go out and get the tree that day. I mean, why would my dad want to have it ready before the kids? I mean, that's part of the fun, doing it with the kids, right? So we would do every single thing on Christmas. We would buy the tree on Christmas. We would go buy more decorations on Christmas. We would laugh because it was like they were $1. Like we could get a tree for $5. I mean, and we would laugh and have the best time. I mean, my dad was awesome. And
Did you ever have
that
a
would be our
Christmas
Christmas,
with
and then
your
we'd open. Then he'd bring all the presents out, put them under. He had all the presents wrapped before, that's for sure. And he was the type of dad that he just packed the presents. I mean, one time he's like, "Here's a catalog, circle everything you want." And my brother, he thought, "Oh, Dad won't get me this. I'll just circle a couple of things I think he will get me." I did what my dad said. I circled every single thing that I wanted, and I got every single thing I wanted, and my brother got what he circled.
Now, I have a question. I mean, did you ever have a Christmas with both of your parents?
Yeah, that was my favorite Christmas, the last Christmas, where I got that most special Genie in the bottle. I and we were at my Uncle Dick's, who was my mom's brother, and we were at his house, and I loved his house. He always had the funnest house. Oh, Uncle Dick's so cool. And then we, so I must have been about, because that was right before they got a divorce. So then, you know why my Uncle Dick was so cool is I wasn't supposed to go down to his room, but I did go down and I peeked. He had wall-to-wall and ceiling wallpaper. He personally did. That was included all Playboy Playmate centerfolds.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't find that to be cool?
Playboy centerfolds?
Yeah, wall to wall. He had Playboy centerfolds. That was his wallpaper. He did it himself, wall to wall.
Okay. Did you ever meet any of these centerfolds?
Probably. When I became a centerfold, I mean, I was 7 at the time, Johnny. So, no, not at that time. But when I became a centerfold, I sent him one and I signed it to Uncle Dick. So proud to be a part of your wallpaper.
Oh, wait. Who did you tell is so proud to be a part of your wallpaper?
The person who wallpapered his walls, wall to wall. My Uncle Dick,
right.
who we were at his house for that favorite Christmas when I was 7, that I snuck down and saw. Okay, maybe did you not just listen to the whole story?
Well, I mean, I remember you saying something about thanks for being part of your wallpaper, but I mean, I didn't know. But I just think it was you that said.
Okay, I said when I was 6 years old, I had an Uncle Dick. We were over there for Christmas.
Right.
And they never let me go down to his room. They said, no, that's private. Don't go peek at his wallpaper.
Okay.
Yeah, and everybody would laugh, right? Ha, ha, ha.
Oh, I see.
I did go. I went down there once, and I peeked, and it was wall-to-wall set Playboy Playmate centerfold, the actual centerfold that he would take out of the issue and glue it to his wall. Wall-to-wall, different Playboy Playmate centerfolds. That was his wallpaper. Okay, now you get it, right?
Yeah, I get it, but I'm trying to get the thing where you said that thanks for being on your wallpaper. I thought you said that.
Yes, I did, because when I grew up and became a Playboy Playmate centerfold, I sent my Uncle Dick my issue, and on my Playboy centerfold, I wrote, to Uncle Dick, I'm so proud to be a part of your wallpaper. Love, Barbara.
Okay.
Now you got it, right?
Now, where's your uncle now?
Spokane, Washington.
Oh, no, you see I'm trying to think. Have we had him on before? I thought we had him on before.
No. That was my Uncle George, and that was my aunt. A different side of the family. So no, we have not had him on. This Uncle Dick's really cool. I asked him to come on the show, but some people, they're just not into it. They're not used to it, and it's not because he doesn't like it. It's because he's too shy, basically. He's shy. He doesn't want to, But he isn't. He does tiles. He does, like, say, your fanciest supermarket you go to, and it's all tiled beautifully. He owns that company. He's the one who redid the whole Davenport Hotel when they just redid it and added 3 down, if you know anything about Spokane, Washington. He is an artist. He builds custom boats out of wood. He's working on a beautiful, beautiful one right now. So he's very artistic. I mean, he makes so many things. I always feature his stuff on my stories. And he's always liked Playboy Playmate centerfolds. And, I just happen to become one. And everybody who was in my family who liked Playboy and was subscribing to Playboy was elated. Wait, yay! Our niece, she said Playboy Playmate. I mean, they were so excited about it. So I thought that was kind of a cool story.
I know. I mean, I like how everybody was proud of you.
Yeah, on that side of the family more so. Well, on that side, a certain part, and then on the other side, a certain part. You know, I mean, it's just they're all different. I have a very large family. I have a lot of uncles and aunts and cousins, and you know, some of them married pastors, and maybe they're not so okay with it, and maybe some don't, and they think it's great. I mean, it is what it is. They all love me. I know that.
It seems that, yeah. I mean, it really is. It's very sweet the way that you are with your family and how you are with your daughter, like Priscilla.
Yes, and it is important at this time because they said that this age group, 12, 13, 14, middle school age, they're having the hardest time with COVID due to lack of the social thing just ripped right out from under them. And they feel like nobody is listening and nobody cares. And that is why there was a suicide, and that's horrible. So after I heard that on the news, I just went right up to her, sat her down, and asked her straight out, do you feel like nobody listens to you? She says, no. Do you feel lonely? No. Are you sad and depressed? No. And I go, okay, I just want to make sure. Do you feel like you're getting enough attention? Yes. Okay, I asked my kids, just do the same with your children, please. And make sure that it's not in an environment where they feel threatened, like, oh, I better say I'm okay, you know? There's certain times when it's right to ask. There's certain moments, and, you know, kids like that, just don't forget how embarrassed you used to get, like if your mother said something too loud in front of other people, you know, things like that. Just make sure it's the right time, and do it, because it's important. Just a few words, a few questions like that go so far. Just if somebody's feeling loved and cared for, they can make it through this. You know, if they feel like they're not alone, they can make it through this COVID. And, you know, I understand people's lives have been totally turned upside down, something they've had love for and a passion for and love doing, or somebody they love seeing at work, or anything that was their passion that they loved every day, it's gone. And you know what? Just imagine, there's so many different scenarios that people could be going through, so many. And those are the people who haven't even lost somebody. What about the people who have had loved ones die? And then they see other people out there that are not even being careful. And, you know, this whole surge after Thanksgiving, wow, you know, I'm reconsidering what I'm doing, and I'm sure everybody else is that cares. Please care. Please let's just do what we need to do to stop the deaths and, you know, whatever we've got to do. And that's my message about the coronavirus. And also that Johnny and I wanted to say our heart goes out, and we are praying for all of you who have gone through it, are still dealing with it health-wise, and who have lost loved ones. Our prayers go out to you. Right, Johnny?
Right.
Right, Johnny?
I mean, you know.
Yeah. I remember I talked to you a while ago, like 2 weeks ago, and asked you if you knew anybody directly that had passed, and I hadn't either. But, you know, now it's not directly, but it's 4 people at her middle school, 4 kids. I mean, not passed, but they have it. 4 people, 4 kids.
Well, I've heard people that have it. What I'm hearing more now is people that are getting the vaccine, which is good.
Okay, that's really good. So that's good. On another note, we also wanted to say thank you for all of the listeners, the regular ones, the new ones, the ones that come from time to time, the ones that love Ardell Shear and call in for Psychic Night, the ones that Make sure they're listening for the new Miss December Diaries, which is my little baby, I guess you would say, my little series that, Johnny and I do we try to do it Wednesdays. And we've done several Playmates, like 20 now. Thank them for coming on, and can't wait for so many more. And they're reaching out to us, too, which is so cool. We have a lot of people who are self-help healers, people who are life coaches, which I think a lot of people need right now, are coming to us and want to be on the show. So we have a lot of great stuff planned for the new year, and we just wanted to do a nice little Christmas wish to all of you out there and say, you go ahead and say the Merry Christmas wish. I'm going to have you say it, Johnny.
Merry Christmas.
And Happy New Year, everybody. And
Happy New Year.
You know what? Don't forget your lessons that you've heard here on Life, Laughter, Happiness about manifestation, because there's been many, many, many stories. And just go to our YouTube channel. All of our shows are there. Mm-hmm. So if you miss it live, it's fun live. It's fun doing it live, and it's fun that we put it up. No, hey, that was live. They're not cutting anything out of that. And it's fun. We've had a lot of fun shows from scientists, philosophers, doctors, writers, lawyers, models, actors, champion athletes, football stars, you name it, healers, therapists, psychic counselors, mediums. And I can't wait till we channel, and I know that they don't like that word, but what else? I call it channeling. We channel Hugh Hefner after the beginning of the year. And we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of Playmates on that show on our Roku channel, by the way. We launched new television channel this year. And so 2020 wasn't all bad for Life, Laughter, Happiness. That's for sure. We grew a lot. We
did
grow by leaps and bounds. Oh, yeah. And you can find us on Roku now. Get the device or buy the whole TV like I did. I couldn't believe a 55-inch Roku TV. So beautiful, 55-inch. They're like $125. Wow. No, I'm sorry. Was it $325? Sorry, $325. But not everybody needs such a big TV. So go get it. Mm-hmm. And because you know what? When we're on TV, you can see us. It's not a podcast where you just listen. And you're going to be able to see a lot of nice people who you always thought, wonder what they look like. Well, now you won't have to wonder.
Mm-hmm.
So we got the TV covered. We've got the podcast covered. We have Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I've been posting on Facebook. Do you ever read my posts, Johnny boy?
And I love them when you post them.
Yeah. And you know what? I forgot. Santa Claus, I forgot to tell you what I really want for Christmas. But I know, since you're so magical, it's not too late because it's not Christmas yet. All I want for Christmas is a drum set.
A drum set?
Right. One with earphones and one where I could drum on it and it won't bother the whole neighborhood. And they're out there. I looked it up. They're out there. I want to learn because I have a knack for it. I have a passion for it. I have a longing for it. I'm driving towards it. I've been practicing on some YouTube videos. And I actually have played drums once. I sat in years ago somewhere at a nightclub, and I had lots of people saying they wanted to, hire me. And I was just faking it. But I have, this, natural ability for it. I know I do. And I know about music. I was a flute player for 7 years in school, and I loved it. I excelled in that greatly. A concert band, pep band, marching band, the whole thing. I did it, and I loved it. so I know about music, but I just love the drums. I could get a guitar, but I don't want a guitar. I want the drums. That's what I want. So, anyway, what do you really want for Christmas, Johnny? If you could have anything in the world, anything. Not like, I hate dancing in a private jet. I don't want to hear that, okay? What about just something that you really, really, really want?
I mean, it's gonna be probably, to buy an airplane ticket to come see you. That's probably what's gonna be.
No. You don't need to buy the airplane. You just buy the plane ticket. So we already got that covered. No, what do you really, really want besides meeting me? Come on.
I would have to say probably if I had to guess, I would have to say probably some video games is what I would buy.
Okay, so that's easy. Because what's so easy is you probably can find them on Amazon, right?
Well, there's this boxing game, and then there's this game you get to be president, and those are two games that I've loved playing. I mean, it's fun because, with the boxing game, I don't know how much boxing you've watched.
I watch it every day. I'm into boxing. That's so weird you asked me this. I love boxing. I've learned all about boxing just lately. What is it? Like, I just had to watch boxing. Now I'm all into it.
What happened was that I was a fanatic when I was younger. I was a fanatic, and I sort of changed because I wanted to be able. It was the Asperger's. All I wanted to talking about was boxing. So I decided I wanted to talk about things that other people were interested in, because I can't, especially when I did this podcast, because you can't just have a podcast on boxing. That would get kind of boring.
Yeah.
As soon as you, and then
Johnny, I interviewed you, and you didn't say anything about this boxing thing ever. Wow.
And I'm actually email pen pals with George Foreman. I'm email pen pals with George Foreman.
Awesome. Well, I did see that, and that's why I'm following him too. He's following you and us on Twitter. I was wondering about
how I know that I'm email pen pals with Foreman.
Game. I want to know how to get the boxing game for you. Just please tell us.
Well, what it is this Title Bout Championship Boxing, and it's a game that you download, and then but I think actually I already have that game. I already have it. But then there's another one where you get to be president of the United States, and I forgot the name of that one, but I'd like to get that one.
Well, what do you play it on? Because there's different things.
You play it on the
I'm
computer.
not totally up on it, but okay, so you could have any kind of computer. You don't need like a special Xbox or whatever. Priscilla.
No, it's not on the Xbox.
Switch.
This is on a computer. But I mean, it's like, your example, like with this game, you can do all sorts of things. You can have you can have the president of the United States be female, if you want, or you can have the president of the United States be homosexual if you want. You can have the president of the you can have countries that would normally, be communist. You can make them free just as an experiment. I mean,
really?
It's interesting. Yeah, but I think the thing about boxing is, about this game that I have, I'll talk about Championship Boxing. I have the most recent version. Is it has actually been used to predict boxing matches, whereas the other games aren't. They're not designed to. The reason I say that is because, let me put it to you another way. I don't know how much. I'm sure Priscilla has a PlayStation 2 or an Xbox. Does she have one of the two?
No, her thing is the Nintendo Switch, which I had to spend a fortune on in May for her birthday. Okay, that's the new thing for her.
Nintendo. Okay. Right. Okay. Now, see what happens with those boxing games that are Nintendo and everything. It's like you'll see the boxer, and then the first thing that you'll see when the boxer comes out is you'll say, this boxer is 6'4", and he weighs 250 pounds, and his reach is 84 inches. The problem with all of that is a computer doesn't know what to do with all that. Because it's kind of like if you say 240 pounds, well, 240 pounds of what? You understand? I mean, muscle, it doesn't know what to have to compute it. What the game does, how about championship boxing does, is statistics. You know, it's purely like how often something is likely to happen. And so I can put like Muhammad Ali in the room with Tyson to see nobody is taking into account how much Tyson weighs at all because a computer can't use those numbers anyway. It can only really
maybe, if it was programmed, I mean, anything could be, but I mean, that would take a very big program. I know, but I understand.
Well, no, you don't understand.
So this game...
What I'm trying to say is that to me, if I say somebody weighs 220 pounds, I can make some guesses off of that. A computer can't. A computer doesn't know what to do with telling. They only know like how often are you going to throw a punch, how often what happens when you throw a punch. That's what they know, but they don't sit there and make comments like, for example, how often do you throw a hook, how often do you throw a jab. These are the questions that it will ask that the computer can answer. But what happens is 9 times out of 10 on every video game that involves sports, you're giving the computer statistics that it isn't going to be able to use anyway, or numbers that's not going to be able to use anyway, like height and reach and all the other stuff. It doesn't know what to do with that because you haven't really told it anything. If I tell you that I have a boxer that weighs 230 pounds, you can make some guesses from that. You're probably going to guess that he's very muscular, right? Okay, but you tell a computer that 230 pounds, what does the computer think? Nothing. It just said you weigh 230 pounds. And what was happening was, and I can prove this to me, this situation. Now, you know enough about boxing to know that if I put a heavyweight in the ring with somebody who's a bantamweight, what's going to happen?
Well, one of them's going to run around really fast until he gets knocked out or punched once and knocked out, probably. No, I don't know. Maybe one can run around that punch. Maybe the little one could run around him 500 times and hit him when he's not looking, and he could get punched out. But it wouldn't be very fun. So I get it. It's like,
if they're two experienced guys and you put a heavyweight in there with the bantamweight, the heavyweight's going to destroy him. It's not even going to be a fight.
I'm not so sure. I'm just saying, I get your point.
Well, there's a reason they don't fight in the same way.
I cannot agree with that 100%. I'm saying, what if the little one that's lighter could, duck and miss all of those and get...
Well, if the little one... here's the point I'm trying to get at here, is just that I think if two guys are experienced... I'm just saying, I'm not agreeing with
you saying it's a fact.
But I'm going to tell you something that does sort of fall in line with what you're saying, and I'm going to explain it to you a bit. Now, if you tell a computer, a heavyweight will always destroy a bantamweight, okay? So what happens is that if you put in somebody that weighs 300 pounds, the computer immediately computes that as a heavyweight versus a bantamweight. And the 300-pound man will destroy the 200-pound man. Well, that's not always going to happen in our lives. You see, it's like...
So what is your game to do to get around this thing that's bothering you with the weight and not putting them in the right class?
It doesn't deal with weight at all. It doesn't deal with weight at all. It doesn't deal with reach. It doesn't deal with height. The only thing it really deals with is statistics, like how often something is likely to happen. It doesn't deal with anything else.
Do you like it?
I like it.
Why you want it for Christmas?
It'll print something out with text, but see, it's really how computer really thinks, because the computer cannot. A computer has to think in terms of something that it can use. Like, for instance, you cannot tell if you can't. I mean, humans if you tell a computer, sorry, I'm trying to ramble, but if you tell a computer that the heavyweight destroys the middleweight, okay, then the computer is going to think, okay, well, that's fine. So then if I put in somebody that's 40 pounds bigger than the heavyweight, then the guy is going to get destroyed. So it has to do with knowing. Now, I will tell you this. I think that if a guy is a bantamweight, like the bantamweight champion of the world, and he gets into a fight in the bar, and I don't think any of the guys know anything about any boxing, then yes, I think that guy is going to will probably murder everyone. It'll be fast. And, everyone, in the bar will be history.
I get it.
But
okay, may I interject really quickly, please, something that's so important? Okay, when you were explaining this in the beginning, I was agreeing with you because a really good friend told me one time about 15 years ago when this generation of mine had to learn how to use computers. Okay, they said, think like a computer. And then with that perspective, it all changed for me. Okay, well, then what? Then I need to know, what does the computer know? Because then I can think like it. So basically what you're saying is with the way your game, this game, and all the games in boxing have been programmed, maybe there's more that they can do. So when you do put in all of these little details, it's going to come up like as good as your brain, because right now no computer is good as good as the human brain. It just is not.
Well, what
so
it is
totally
that humans deal with things better than computers deal with the computers do. For example, like terms like, well, he's 6'2", he weighs 230. We can deal with those facts easier. And things like age, we can deal with those facts, easier. But it's like in the mind of a computer, you tell them that somebody's like, say, 37 years old, it doesn't mean anything to them, to a computer. I mean,
well,
it doesn't.
It depends on what app you're on, or what website you're on, or what browser you're on, or what search you're on. I mean, it depends on so many things these days. So, and it's ever changing. Yeah. It is just changing. Like, I'll have an update on my phone, and I'm like, oh wow, I love that update. Now I'm able to do this or that, and little simple things. But oh my gosh, I totally get it what you're saying, but I still don't have the answer. So I kind of do. You already have the boxing games. But you do want, if you could have anything for Christmas, you do want games, but I need to know the brand. Like, okay, it's not Nintendo.
Yeah, it's something that this is something that I would have to download, but it would be purchased, and then it's I think it's Masters of the World. I think it's what it's called. But I have no.
Do you know if you can get it on Amazon? I'm gonna Google it right now. And this is a good lesson too.
Well,
and this has a lot to do with Christmas, Johnny. Let me tell them.
Right.
Okay, you go on Amazon. You pick out what you want, like this game we're trying to find for Johnny. Okay, this boxing game, and you go on. You search it first. Try Google or Safari, whatever you like searching in. And you know what I love? In Google, there's a search bar on your phone. There's a little icon inside that search bar with a camera, little camera thumbnail. If you hit that and take a picture of any item around the house, at a store, it also has a thing it can scan or type. Anyway, I take a picture of whatever the item is, and it tells me every single place I can get this, where it is: Amazon, Pinterest, eBay, Target, and the exact link to that. Okay, and the price. Oh my gosh, I love it. It's like called Google Picture. Oh, people don't know, and I love it. And I found out, I took a picture of my mom's lamp, and it was there since my childhood. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Mom, do you know how much this lamp is worth? $8,000. And we were laughing our butts off. I'm like, glad you didn't ship that and all the moves you've done since I was a kid. Oh, my gosh. but it's just like that. And then you could go take a picture of your china. It doesn't have, like, the computer, it doesn't know every single little china in the world, but, I mean, there's always a broad thing that comes up that you can view. And, oh, my gosh, it's so great. So I wanted everybody to know about that for Christmas. And it also, if you are having trouble finding something for anybody, and also that you could go on Amazon and create your own wish list, which I did. I did one for myself just because my fans asked me to, not because I'm greedy or need presents. You know, I'm a woman. But it is always nice. You know, you're never too old to get gifts. And I did one for myself, and I did one for my daughter because it just makes it so much easier for everybody just to go on and look at your wish list. Okay, that's what they want. Let's just get it to them in a day. I love Amazon Prime. So have you, obviously not, it's a not a real question, made your wish list on Amazon, Johnny?
No, I haven't.
What are you going to do next?
But I will tell you what I'll do. You said you wanted to find the game. When I find the game, I'll let you know, okay? But I'll find out a way that you can order it. Okay. I think we're about 8 minutes left.
Okay, I wanted to get you a present. I just did not know what to get you. Okay, so, Johnny, happy day, whatever, what is it? I can't say it. I almost said it. I hate it on Wednesday when they say that. I'm sorry. I almost said it, and I hate it. But people like it. I almost said that. Do you know what I'm getting at?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I hate it. I don't know why. Okay. So we're not going to be on tomorrow. It's Christmas Eve. We're going to enjoy that and let you as well. And then Christmas we will not be on, and we want to wish you a very Merry Christmas. And if you are not observing Christmas, we hope you are enjoying the pretty lights and enjoying whatever religious belief you are a part of, and which would be Hanukkah. So happy Hanukkah to many of you and many of my personal friends. Happy Hanukkah. And what else is out there that we want to say happy to? There's another one that
Kwanzaa.
Oh, what's that?
I think that's for the Muslim faith.
Okay. Happy Kwanzaa, everybody. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. So what's it from you? Because I'm like, last night I go, are you Jewish? I don't know what you said on the phone last night to me, but something made me think you were Jewish. What was it? I know you're not.
Jewish.
But then
it's Merry Christmas.
You said it's Merry Christmas from me too, but
yes.
I would, yes. And by the way, everybody, it's my 28th anniversary of being Miss December for Playboy's Playmate of the Month. So I always love December and Christmas because I was in the Gala Christmas issue, and it was special. It really was. So I just wanted to just say that. It gave me chills. I wonder if Hugh Hefner's next to me right now. Remember that psychic Joyce Teller said, have Hugh Hefner standing right next to you right now, Barbara. Why would that be?
Mm-hmm.
She didn't even know anything about me. So anyway, we've got a lot of exciting things that happen all the time on our show, as you probably gotten from this show, right, Johnny? And we just thank everybody and also all of the callers. And you can easily find us on, I am so sorry. I got bogged down and I forgot to I was going to do that for your Christmas present, make the payment for the website. And I didn't. So I'm going to do that right now, Johnny. Then everybody can, then everybody can go to lifelaughterhappiness.com and find out everything. But most importantly, go to our Facebook. What? All right. What? Merry Christmas, everybody. Johnny's wanting to go.
No, I'm not wanting to go. I wanted to tell you, can I talk to you after the show? I have a request for you.
Well, of course. But
all right.
You didn't have to tell me here. Of course you can.
Oh,
I'm available always for my business partner and one of my best friends, Jonathan Alexander. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.